Hello everyone, it's us again, passionate, drama-obsessed team behind the TV channel Days Drama Digest, your ultimate source for all the twists, betrayals, and heart-stopping moments that make Days of Our Lives the legendary soap opera it is today. We're absolutely buzzing with excitement as we dive into some massive news, shaking up Salem right now. If you've been feeling the void left by certain key players who vanished from our screens for a little too long, brace yourself as powerhouse returnees are storming back into town, and the fallout promises to be explosive, emotional, and utterly addictive. If you're dying to get the full scoop on exactly who's stepping back into the spotlight next week, and how their arrivals will ignite fresh chaos, make sure to check out our latest video breakdown. But for now, let's sink deep into the juicy details of these epic comebacks that have fans everywhere on the edge of their seats. First and foremost, the DiMera dynasty is about to feel the full force of its most charismatic and cunning son returning home. Yes, we're talking about none other than EJ DiMera, portrayed with that signature intensity and magnetic charm by the talented Dan Furigal. EJ has been noticeably upset from Salem for several weeks, leaving viewers wondering what shadowy business could possibly keep such a central figure away from the family empire. His complicated relationships and the endless power struggles that define his life. According to the latest spoilers, EJ's long-awaited return hit screens on Monday, January 26th, when he finally touches down back in Salem after an extended trip to Italy. What was he doing there? While the show has kept some cards close to the chest, whispers and teases point to him visiting his daughter Sydney, a rare moment of paternal tenderness amid his otherwise ruthless persona. But don't expect EJ to come home in a reflective, softened mood. Oh no, this is EJ DiMera. We're talking a booth man who thrives on control, vengeance, and turning every crisis into an opportunity. His return is anything but quiet. It's a thunderclap that reverberates through the entire town. Picture this: EJ strides back into the DiMera mansion, or perhaps straight into the police station, his tailored suit impeccable, his eyes blazing with that familiar mix of arrogance and barely contained fury. The air thickens with tension the moment he appears. And why? Because the first bombshell waiting for him is delivered by none other than Rafe Hernandez, the steadfast police commissioner who's been piecing together one of the most chilling discoveries in recent memory, during a harrowing hostage crisis that trapped several DiMera family members in their own family crypt, a place already steeped in generations of secrets, burials, and resurrection. Remains were uncovered in a shocking location. The crypt, meant to hold the eternal rest of DiMera ancestors, had become a prison of terror. Now, forensic analysis has confirmed the unthinkable. Those bones belong to Stefano DiMera himself, the Phoenix, the master manipulator whose death or supposed deaths has haunted Salem for decades. Rafe, ever the voice of grim authority, pulls EJ aside for a private, gut-wrenching conversation. "You know who the bones belong to?" EJ might say, his voice low and dangerous, already sensing the truth before Rafe even speaks. And when Rafe confirms that the bones belong to your father, the weight of that revelation crashes down like a tidal wave. Stefano, the man EJ both idolized and resented, the figure whose shadow has loomed over every DiMera decision, reduced to dusty remains in the very crypt designed to protect the family's legacy. This isn't just news, it's a seismic shift in EJ's world. It closes the door on endless rumors and fan theories about Stefano's possible survival, or elaborate schemes from beyond the grave. It forces EJ to confront mortality in a family that has cheated death so many times. It feels immortal. But EJ doesn't crumble under grief or weaponizes it. Expect his return to unleash a torrent of rage, directed at those he holds responsible for recent betrayals and manipulations. Chief among them? Gwen Rizzo, whose recent actions have pushed EJ to the brink. Spoilers tease explosive confrontations where EJ unleashes his wrath, ripping into Gwen with verbal daggers that cut deep. Their history is already laced with poison, alliances formed and shattered, secrets shared and exploited. Now, with EJ back and armed with fresh fury, these scenes promise fireworks, shouting matches in dimly lit rooms, accusations flying like bullets, and the ever-present threat that EJ's revenge could turn deadly. And then there's his sister, Kristen DiMera, whose own brand of vengeance is simmering just below the surface. Kristen has never been one to forgive easily, especially when it comes to family betrayals. With EJ's return, expect tense, sibling rivalry-fueled showdowns where old wounds reopen. Kristen, ever the schemer, might see EJ's distraction over the crypt revelation as the perfect opening to strike. Their exchanges will crackle with electricity, love twisted into resentment, loyalty eroded by ambition. Kristen putting others on notice, including perhaps Sarah Horton in related plots, only heightens the drama around EJ's homecoming. Will brother and sister unite against common enemies? Or will their clash tear the DiMera empire apart from within? The emotional stakes couldn't be higher. EJ's return isn't just a cameo, it's a catalyst that ripples outward, touching every corner of Salem. His presence reignites rivalries, reopens investigations, and forces characters to confront truths they've buried for years. Fans of Dan Furiegel's portrayal know he brings layers, the soft charm masking a ruthless core, the vulnerability that peeks through in rare moments. This week, those layers will be peeled back dramatically as EJ grapples with loss, betrayal, and the relentless drive to reclaim control. Now, as if one seismic return weren't enough to send shockwaves through Salem, another iconic force of nature is making her grand entrance this very week. Enter Vivian Alamain, the brilliant, unapologetic, and utterly diabolical villainess played to perfection by the legendary Louise Sorrell. Vivian's comebacks are always events moments when the shows can't be. Over-the-top villainy reaches its zenith, and this one promises to be no exception. Vivian has been off-screen for nearly a year, her absence keenly felt by fans who adore her razor-sharp wit, her outrageous schemes, and her complete disregard for morality when it suits her goals. But now she's back, summoned to Salem at the desperate request of Gwen, who finds herself in deeper trouble than ever. The plot thickens round Dimitri von Leuschner, or Dimitri DiMera, whose presence has become a thorn in Gwen's side. After financial manipulations, betrayals, and escalating conflicts, Gwen needs Dimitri to disappear permanently, or at least long enough for her to regain footing. Who better to call than Vivian Alamain, the queen of making problems vanish? Vivian arrives like a storm cloud on the horizon, elegant, dangerous, and dripping with menace. Louise Sorrell slips back into the role effortlessly, her voice alone enough to send chills down spines. Expect Vivian to waste no time assessing the situation with her trademark sarcasm and cunning insight. Darling, if you want someone gone, you don't call it amateur, you call me, she might purr. Already plotting 3 steps ahead. What is her plan? The anticipation is killing us. Vivian's schemes are never straightforward, they involve deception, manipulation, perhaps even a touch of the macabre. Remember her history with Graves' body switches and resurrection drugs? Will she team up with old allies like Dr. Wilhelm roll for some scientific mischief? Or will she turn the tables on Gwen herself, using the situation to advance her own agenda, perhaps tied to her son Stefan's fate, or lingering questions about family fortunes? This return isn't just about one disappearance, it's about unleashing chaos. Vivian's presence amplifies every conflict, their interactions with the DiMeras, especially EJ. Given their shared history of enmity and uneasy alliances, her disdain for Salem's good citizens, and her willingness to cross any line, the week ahead teems with possibilities, clandestine meetings in shadowy corners, whispered threats, and dramatic reveals that leave jaws on the floor. Together, EJ and Vivian's returns create a perfect storm. One man driven by family legacy and personal vendettas, the other a force of calculated destruction. Their paths may cross in unexpected ways, perhaps clashing over Dimitri, the crypt secrets, or broader power plays. Salem has never felt more volatile. So, Dear Days fans, are you as thrilled as we are? EJ storming back with devastating news from Rafe, 10 sibling showdowns with Kristen, and explosive confrontations that promise to redefine alliances. Vivian sweeping in like a hurricane, ready to make Dimitri vanish and upend everything in her path. These aren't just returns, that are game changers. The week of January 26th is shaping up to be one for the history books. Tune in, set your DVRs, and join us here at Days Drama Digest as we dissect every gasp-worthy moment. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Who are you most excited to see, EJ's furious intensity, or Vivian's wicked brilliance? Do you think the crypt revelation will break EJ or fuel his next empire-building rampage? And what diabolical twist will Vivian unleash? We can't wait to discuss it all with you. Until next time, stay dramatic, stay tuned, and remember, in Salem, no one stays gone forever.